Hello friends, Amber here with Yoga How To, and today I've got something a little different for you. It is technology to level up your yoga game. Whether it is meditation, pranayama, I've got something in there for that today. An app that could help keep you on track with all of them. I even have something for Sankalpa that I think is a little different. A couple of these I think you may have never heard of, but we'll see. Let me know, and let me know what things you use in the technology world that support you with your yoga practice. I know technology gets a bad rap because it can take us so far from our practice, but when we're intelligent about our use of it, it can actually support us. We can use technology and the way our brains work to improve our practices and to build better habits with our practices. All right, we'll start with what is probably one of the best known apps, and this is Insight Timer. I'll show it to you from my profile. I use the free version, and it starts with a quote. You'll see a quote there. The quote goes away, and then you can just hop right in. Now, there's all kinds of things you can do. You could set your intention here. You could go under meditation, breath work, and bring up different guided meditations. I don't do that too much. There's a few I like to do, but it gives you some different options. You can see things I've used in the past, a deep sleep meditation. It gives me some things it thinks I would like, but I mostly just skip all of this stuff and I go right to the timer. And this is a 15-minute meditation I had set. I was doing 5 minutes of gratitude for 3 different subjects. And so I added 2 bells, one at the 5-minute, one at the 10-minute mark. So I could do that one. It gives me a little 5-second warm-up. You can set your warm-ups. I also have a bunch of presets. A lot of times I just do this, let's see here, where is it? I think this is it, just plain meditation. I have a really long time in here so it won't interrupt me, and I can just start and do whatever meditation I'm doing, and I'll have plenty of time without any interruption. When you're done, you can hit finish. Look at that, a 7-second meditation, continue, and it adds on to your consecutive days, which this is good for our brains. Our brains like these, it's like a little dopamine hit, and we can see, oh, hey, I'm making progress. We could share our progress. We could do all kinds of things. So that's Insight Timer, and it is a great one just to keep track. You can also get friends on here and use it a little more in a social media type of way as well. Okay, so that is a great way to, you can use it for asana, you can use it for breathwork, meditation, whatever you want, and just get that little dopamine hit. I mean, this is how our brains are made, so let's work with it, where you get those consecutive days, and I didn't mention this, but you get stars after a certain number of days and all this stuff, and you can see those build up in your profile. All right, the next one, I want to throw one in that I think perhaps you have not heard of. This one is called Parrot on iPhone, and I'm sorry, I don't know if this is on Android or not, but I know there is something comparable to it on Android, so if you know what it is, will you post that in the comments? Basically what happens with Parrot is you go in and you make a recording. So I might record my Sankalpa with love, joy, and creativity. I contribute to the lives of others. That little 5-second recording is now on a loop. So I can listen to it. With love, joy, and creativity, I contribute to the lives of others. With love, joy, and creativity, I contribute to the lives of others. On a loop. I can listen to it again and again. What is the actual practical use of this? Well, if you are doing a mantra or a sankalpa or something that you just want to get deep in the subconscious mind, it's always good to try to feel it as if it is, but it also doesn't hurt to work with our brainwaves. So listening to that at night while you sleep, as you fall asleep, and then it'll be there when you wake up. And that can just be a nice way to get that stuff into those deep recesses of the subconscious mind. I think it's an interesting one to play around with and to see if it's useful or not. And it is free. The next one I want to show you is a little different. And this came from reading Gregor Male's book on pranayama. And he talks about how important it is to keep a good count for your pranayama, particularly when you are, well, if you're doing samavriti, if you're doing an even in, even out. But then when you start adding, if you are increasing the length of either the inhalation or the exhalation, or when you're adding the breath retentions at the top or the bottom of the breath, it's important to keep it steady. Otherwise, you lose that ratio and you're kind of all over the place and you don't get the effects you want. So I use this one. It's just called Metronome, and you can just set it for however many beats per minute you want. And you can play it. There are some where you can do different sounds, different, if like you don't like that sound, you can find different ones, and you can of course set different rhythms and beats for your own breath. That will be great too. There's a lot of different metronome apps out there. Find one that works for you and see how it will change your pranayama practice. It will keep you true to those lengths of the exhalations if they're longer or extended. It will keep you true to the how long you're meaning to hold the inhalation. This last one, it is not free. There is, I recognize, a financial barrier to it. I think you could learn the techniques and be fine without it. It is the sensor from HeartMath, the HeartMath Institute, and it teaches you to breathe and focus on the heart area and get heart coherence, which when the heart is in a coherent rate, then it will lift the brain into coherence. It gets the nervous system into coherence, where they're all just working together. It's like they're reading the same page of the book rather than one's over here in this chapter and one's in a different book altogether, or maybe a whole other library. It brings everything together, and it's a really good practice. I use this a lot when I'm doing gratitude type work to bring my heart in, to make sure I'm really in that coherent space, and it helps train you to get there more and more often. It does go on sale. I got mine on sale. I think I got mine for just under $200. It's normally, I think, right around $250. So you have to decide if this is worth it to you, if you're going to use it or not. If you're going to use it enough. I use it a lot, and it has really helped me. I have to tell you, it's improved. I can just get into that heart space easier and more often, and it's been with consistent use of it. So I want to show you the app that comes with it. You would put the sensor on your ear. You turn this on, and it's got a little cord. I wish it reached down to like my belt or my pants or something. It doesn't even reach the table. So here, this looks funny, but here's what we got. Then you can go into their app. There's all kinds of things you can do, classes, little mini classes you can take and things like that. It keeps your history. So here's my full history. I can go in. This morning I was not feeling very coherent, but I stuck at it for 20 minutes and got an average score of 1.6. And like, here's a good one. I had 4.6 that day. You can see it is tracking my coherence. And I got up to 9. It'll show like the highest point was up at 9 that day. I think I've reached 12. I think it goes up to 16. So you get points. I don't really care about those points, but I do like that it's tracking my history, and I can take notes and see what was going on with me that day. So I would hit measure. I am going to start my session. You can add all kinds of little bells and whistles. I don't do that. I just hop right in. I get to it. It's connected to my Bluetooth. Now it's going to listen for my heartbeat. And I want to get into this just so you can kind of see what it looks like. There are different screens you can choose once you're in it to help you breathe with it. Mine's taking a while here. There we go. So I'm going to try to breathe as best as I can while talking. And I might throw one on the screen where I'm actually doing this. I have a different one recorded, so I'll probably use that. I'm at 1. Hey, that's something. That's not nothing. And it just shows the high coherence is that green level. The blue is lower coherence, but I'm still coherent. And then if I'm not in coherence, I'm in that yellow, which is really, I set those where I want them. I'm accumulating points right now. Again, not terribly coherent, but I will get a video of an example where you can really see that see where it shows the heart rate variability in the middle of the screen. You'll start to just see this nice up and down of it. There are different screens you can pick to do if there's a visual image that works better for you, or if you don't want to watch your coherence the whole time. Okay, so that is the HeartMath one. I like that the others are free. I wish this one was free for all of us too, but you know, they're making something and they're doing research, so it's not for nothing. And I found that one to be really beneficial. So let me know what you think. I think there's a lot of interesting ways we can work with our brains and with knowing how dopamine works, knowing how habit formation works. You know, to form a habit, we need a cue. Well, that's something to remind us. Most of these apps can give us a reminder. Then we need the thing we do, the new thing we're doing. So whether it's breath work, meditation, whatever it is, then you do it. The reward, these apps that track your progress, that gives you a little dopamine hit, so you get that reward. And it gets stronger as you build over time because you're doing it more consistently. You're getting these long streaks of time. Then it sucks if you travel and you forget, like I did with Insight Timer a while ago. But you know, it's just fun. It's nothing to take too seriously, but it's a way to work with our biology that I think can be quite smart. I really love the HeartMath one. They are not paying me, though. If they would like to, I'll take it. And if you have questions, comments, if you have tips, what do you use? What apps do you use? I know there's a ton of them out there. These are just what I like, but I thought a couple of these are pretty far off the beaten path, perhaps. So I wanted to share, and as always, just want to encourage you to keep with it. Do what works for you. Keep experimenting, and it really does pay off. It's the yoga. You got to do the yoga to reap its benefits. So get in there and find ways to help you stick with it. All right, thanks so much, friends. Please like and subscribe, or don't. You do you. Have a good day.